Hey y'all. Well, I'm going to take Nahla for a walk, and I thought I'd chat just a little bit. It's been a week. It's been a week of very busy such things. If y'all celebrate Christmas or Hanukkah or Yule or whatever your family might do, or nothing, which is perfectly acceptable, you've probably been pretty busy. So we have had a busy Christmas season and a Yule season. So it's come on, Nana, this way. So it's been fun. We kept things really low key this year, and honestly, y'all, things have been really low key at our home since Jared passed. It was so very hard, and the kids were grown. The grandkids, usually we would go down there and we'd take gifts for Aiden and Kayla. So as far as decorating here, I always made a small Christmas tree for my mom. Or I actually I would get the things for a small Christmas tree, and my mom would decorate it because she always loved Christmas. So we always exchanged gifts with her, and still, it was just so much smaller than it had ever been. But that's good. Christmas needed to be much smaller than it had been when our kids were young, and even with the grandkids, we spent too much money. Look at the winter wheat coming up, yay! So now that we are actually feeling more like celebrating Christmas, those guys are boogers. We decided to absolutely make it more about just getting together for a nice meal. Hugh and I we're not decorating. We'll have a pretty centerpiece on the table, one that Chelsea and I made. But it's going to be about, just getting together and having a meal. And their gifts, they won't hear this before Christmas, so I'll go ahead and tell you. Their gifts are really simple. I bought everybody a pair of Paca's socks. If you're familiar with, come on, Nana, this way with me. If you're familiar with the alpaca wool, it's supposed to be some of the softest wool ever. And so I could not get everybody, an entire package for themselves. So, because they end up being about close to $20 a pair. So they are pricey, but I thought kind of, that's one of those fun splurge things that a lot of people will not purchase for themselves. If in a month or so everybody says, oh, those are the most comfortable socks I've ever worn, I may splurge on myself and get myself a pack. Oh, y'all, I'm terrible. But I also had my friend Crystal make beautiful mugs for the adult children. And for the grands, I have just purchased the hot and cold cups with just some fun sayings on the outside. And then today, Hugh and I went to the grocery store and we bought the ingredients to make the powdered Russian tea and powdered hot cocoa mix. So they'll each have a mason jar filled with those two yummy treats. And of course, part of the kids are in college and staying in dorms, so that'd be something nice that they can enjoy in their dorm rooms with just some hot water. And I'm making, some for Hugh, not much for me and Hugh, because with him being diabetic, it's yummy, and I don't want him drinking too much of it because that'd be a sugar spike. But yeah. And besides that, let me see, what else? So it's socks, the Russian tea, the hot cocoa, and a mug or hot and cold flask. So that's kind of it. We decided to keep the gift under $50, and we've managed to do that. And Nahla's pulling me. I don't know where she thinks she's going, but she loves her walk. This has been the best thing we could do for them. And we have bitten the bullet. I told y'all that I was wanting to start making their dog food, and I priced it every way from Sunday, and I could not make it work. It was just way more expensive to give them a nice healthy dog food. So we did the next best thing, and we started purchasing a better quality dog food. And I think it's called Open Farm or something of that nature. And yeah, it's gonna end up costing about $100 more a month to feed them. But I told Hugh, I said, because we're getting the senior formula, and it has the chondroitin, and it has the glucosamine, and those types of things already added in. And just the fact that it will be, more nutritious, I think we'll be able to get rid of the supplements. So maybe it will all just average out. I think she's getting ready to go potty. I'll let her do her thing. Maybe. And if it makes them feel better, it will be worth it anyway. I told Hugh, Hugh and I go out to dinner about twice a month. And I said, I'm willing to give up the going out to dinner to feed our puppies healthier. And I know one thing's for certain. Whereas with the other dog food and I won't mention any names, if any of you are interested, because you want to know if that's something that your doggies might be having problems with, I can tell you in the comments. But the other dog food, they were really kind of resistant to eating it, especially our picky ones like Noble and Mimi. So we typically blended up, something yummy, a little bit of ground beef, cooked ground beef, or cooked, if we made a pot roast or whatever, we'd put just a little piece in a blender and blend it up. Or we'd put in, come on, Nana, a can of tuna and blend that up and use that over several meals. But just something to kind of improve the flavor. We had to do that to get them to eat it. So far, this new food, I wanted to try it and just see how they dealt with it without the toppings. So the only thing I've done is put a little bit of warm water on it, because they're used to kind of having something liquid on their food, and just stir it up just a little bit, and they have devoured it. They have devoured it. And so I know that it must taste a whole lot better than what they were eating before. Nana, you coming? And if any of y'all, let me turn around. She's gone around me. If any of y'all watched the last two videos, I can't remember which one it was. One of them, I found that pileated woodpecker, and it was over there in those trees. I think I told you one day that I thought I heard a woodpecker, and sure enough, it was up there. And I managed to get it on the camera for a minute or two. Come on. The problem is I have to increase the lens size in order to be able to get close enough for you to see it. And when it's increased that large, it's hard to hold it steady. And so the tiniest movement is so exaggerated. So I think that you can get a pretty good idea of him or her. But it's a beautiful little bird. And so apparently it lives over there in those trees. And it's pecking little holes in the trees for whatever reason. After some kind of bug. Nahla, you're going to trip me. Let me turn around again, guys. She keeps going around the other side of me. but I'm getting excited to get out here in this garden. And I've shown y'all the Lizzies, and they're coming along so nicely. It's so much fun to go in there in the morning and see that sea of tiny, tiny, almost microscopic little green sprouts coming up. And they just kind of busted through that coating. That's what Hugh told me he thought they would do. The videos that I had watched on them showed people putting a little dropper of water on top of those coated seeds, and the coating would just melt away. Well, that's not the kind of coating that's on these, but they're coming along nicely. And even the Arena 3 red, which has been really, really slow, I finally saw a couple of little green sprouts in those today. You want to make one more trip? Nahla, want to make one more round? I think she's saying I'm finished. Okay. I'll follow you, sister. But hopefully by springtime, I'm hoping to walk her the fence line of this bottom part of the property, which will be over there beyond the barn and up that ridge, along that ridge, and where those trees start again, down that fence line, and on over behind the sawmill shed, and then through where Huey puts his wood. And the reason for that, just to give us some climbing. She and I both need to climb a little bit. This, where we're walking right now, is very flat, but I want to increase her leg strength and her back, and her back legs. I want to increase the strength so that she can get up and down a little easier. And maybe by summertime we can take that little vest off of her, because she's not even 12 yet, and she's way too young to have these kinds of issues. So it is our goal to get rid of these issues. Where are you going? We're not going over there. No, come on, let's go inside. She says, well, that's not what I was counting on. Her poor little tail. I cut all those cockleburrs out of her tail, and it looks so shabby. She has a pretty long swaying tail when it's there. Oh, gracious. All right, y'all. Well, I'm going to take her in. This will be after Christmas, so I hope that all of you had a wonderful Christmas, or Hanukkah, or Yule, again, whatever you celebrate. I hope it was everything that you hoped for. And I'm going to go in and get things ready for dinner. I love you much. Bye-bye. Wait on me. Say bye-bye. Nana, can you say bye-bye? She says no. She says, I'm trying to see what I can